Ethereum is supposed to be the world's decentralized supercomputer, a permissionless platform where anyone can build, transact, and innovate. But as the ecosystem grows, so do the questions. Who's really in charge of Ethereum? Is it the community, the token holders, or a handful of devs, rollup operators, and multi-sig wallets? Welcome to Plugged in Crypto, your connection to crypto. Welcome to the Ethereum governance problem, where decentralization is promised but not guaranteed. Let's start with what makes Ethereum unique. Unlike Bitcoin, which is purposefully rigid, Ethereum was designed to evolve. It has a rich developer culture, regular protocol upgrades, and a roadmap full of ideas, from sharding to statelessness to account abstraction. But evolution has a price, because every upgrade, every change needs coordination, and that coordination is becoming more centralized. Take Ethereum core development. Vitalik might not be the CEO, but his opinions still move markets. A handful of research teams, like the Ethereum Foundation, Nethermind, and Consensus, drive protocol decisions. Core dev calls are public, sure, but they're highly technical and sparsely attended. Real power sits with those who understand the codebase, and that's a small, elite group. Then there's layer 2s, like Optimism, Arbitrum, and Base. These rollups promise to scale Ethereum, but most are controlled by centralized sequencers. Want to publish a transaction? You go through the sequencer. Want to withdraw funds to Ethereum? You wait for the sequencer. These systems are optimistic in name, but they rely on trusted actors in practice. Many of these L2s are governed by multi-sigs, sometimes just 2 of 5 signers. That's not decentralized. That's a tech startup with a blockchain backend. And while decentralization is on the roadmap, it's always a few quarters away. Even major upgrades like proto-danksharding are being driven by small internal teams, with little input from everyday users or token holders. So what happens when key governance decisions, like fee changes, EIPs, or roadmap pivots, are being made by people most of us didn't vote for? Ethereum's surface is decentralized, but under the hood, we see influence clustering, research power with the Ethereum Foundation, execution power with L2 sequencers, financial power with whales and VCs. This isn't a conspiracy, it's a coordination challenge, and the bigger Ethereum gets, the more coordination matters. But here's the catch: coordination needs trust, and trust often leads to centralization. So Ethereum faces a paradox. In order to scale and evolve, it must centralize in the short term, just to hopefully decentralize again later. But what if that later never comes? What if the status quo is just good enough for the insiders, and they stop pushing to open things up? Some argue that governance centralization is a feature, not a bug. After all, someone needs to write the EIPs. Someone needs to ship the upgrades. But if Ethereum becomes too reliant on a few voices, it risks losing what made it powerful in the first place: permissionless innovation. We've already seen backlash. Arbitrum's governance token launch faced massive community pushback when insiders controlled early votes. Optimism has been criticized for opaque grants and sequencer control. Even Base, Coinbase's L2, doesn't pretend to be decentralized yet. So what's the path forward? Ethereum needs real checks and balances, more transparency in dev coordination, more accountability from rollup operators, and above all, more education, so the community can actually participate. Because decentralization doesn't happen by accident. It takes constant pressure, constant vigilance. And if Ethereum really wants to be the world's decentralized computer, not just in theory but in practice, it has to do better. Otherwise, it risks becoming the very thing it set out to replace: a system controlled by the few, packaged for the many. Please like and subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay plugged in.